Passengers watched in disbelief as a flight attendant demanded a young black girl be removed from the plane. A frail teenager, pale and weak, her oxygen machine quietly humming beside her. She wasn't disruptive. She wasn't dangerous. She was fighting to breathe. Her father pleaded, holding back rage and fear. But the attendant's tone stayed sharp. "She's a safety risk." No one moved to help. No one spoke. What they didn't know was who that father really was, and how within minutes he would ground the entire flight. "Watch until the end. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this." Marcus Daniels was a man used to pressure. A decorated Air Force pilot turned commercial aviation executive, he lived his life by precision and purpose. But nothing had prepared him for the sight of his 15-year-old daughter, Layla, hooked up to tubes and wires fighting for her life. After months of treatment, she was finally stable enough to fly home for specialized care. Every detail of their trip had been cleared: medical approval, documentation, equipment checks. He thought it would be simple: board, rest, and get her safely home. Yet as they settled into their seats, Marcus noticed the glances, the whispers. The uneasy smiles quickly disappeared when he met their eyes. To them, he was just another black man, until they noticed his daughter's medical gear. He told himself to ignore it. But prejudice has a way of finding its moment to strike. The plane door closed with a hiss, and Marcus exhaled, praying for a smooth flight. But a few minutes later, a flight attendant approached. Her voice was polite at first, then colder with every sentence. "Sir, passengers are concerned about that machine. It might interfere with flight systems." Marcus calmly handed over Layla's medical clearance forms, signed by both the hospital and the airline's own medical department. She skimmed the papers, unimpressed. "Still, I think it's safer if she doesn't fly." Marcus's heart pounded. Layla's breathing had already grown labored. "She needs that machine," he said firmly. The attendant folded her arms. "Then maybe she needs to wait for another flight." The words cut deep. Passengers nearby started staring, some with discomfort, some with indifference. No one spoke up. Layla's eyes fluttered open. Fear filled them. Marcus held her hand and whispered reassurance he didn't feel. Then came the final insult. "Sir," the attendant said, raising her voice so others could hear, "you're making a scene. Please take your daughter and deboard." That was it. The dam broke. Marcus stood, every muscle tense, the years of discipline barely holding him back. He wasn't just a father now. He was a man watching the world decide that his child's life didn't matter. Marcus reached into his pocket, pulled out his ID badge, and held it high. "You just tried to remove the deputy director of flight operations from his own airline's aircraft," he said, voice trembling with controlled fury. Gasps rippled through the cabin. The captain's door opened, confusion spreading like wildfire. The attendant's face drained of color. Marcus didn't shout. He didn't need to. With one call to the control tower, the engines powered down. The captain's voice echoed over the intercom. "This flight is temporarily grounded." Layla's machine hummed softly, the only sound in a stunned silence. Marcus knelt beside her, brushing her curls away from her forehead. "You're safe, baby," he whispered. "No one's ever kicking you out again." The flight never took off that day. The airline issued a public apology after the video, recorded by a passenger, went viral within hours. But Marcus didn't care for headlines or hashtags. All he cared about was his daughter's peace as they finally reached home the next morning on a different aircraft, greeted by medical staff who treated her with dignity. Weeks later, that same flight attendant received diversity training. Still, Marcus knew education couldn't fix a heart that refused to see humanity. Layla recovered slowly, her story now part of a larger conversation that refused to fade. Because no parent should ever have to prove their child deserves compassion or equality at 30,000 feet. How many more flights must be grounded before justice truly takes off? Which country and city are you watching from? Take care.